YouTube, what the crap's going on? Jubal Barca welcomes you back to the Carthage campaign in Rome Total War Remastered, where we're going to be taking on a Germania force that probably doesn't have any business being in this battle, but they chose to fight it anyway, so gotta give them respect for that. It's always nice to have the AI wanting to fight. I think that this is actually pretty important. I have way too many Total War games where I feel like the AI is always trying not to fight, unless it's like, 100% certain it's gonna win. And people will claim, well, Heir, that means the AI is smart. Okay, I know people don't actually leave these comments, and I'm over-exaggerating. I'm just giving an example here, okay? Well, that makes the AI smart. It doesn't. It makes the game worse. So, I love fights in a Total War game. A Total War game should be all about the fights. And so, I like it when the AI fights. And then when you do get on the battle map, it's even better when the AI actually charges at you in an attempt to bring decisive combat. So again, that to me is what's going to create the most fun Total War game. Anyway, you can agree or disagree, but that's the way I see it. And so I like it when things like this happen and the AI actually gets off its butt and comes and attacks me. Now, the AI sending a single unit at a time, piecemeal into your meat grinder, yeah, probably not the way you want the AI to behave, but building up armies and sending them at you, that should kind of just be the base nature. And it's always good to see that happening. I think in the newer Total War games that I've played recently, the AI has done pretty good about being fairly aggressive and getting into some good fights. In the Warhammer games, I've noticed it being pretty good about causing some rather large fights, and that's what I want. Like I said, that's definitely my desire for a Total War. I'm gonna run my Sacred Bands up. I'm gonna hit these Screeching Women with an infantry and cavalry charge. Take them right out of the fight. And let's get into phalanx formation. Got pursued by this phalanx out here. Let's go outflank it. Move away from the war dogs over here. Not surprising, our Sacred Band is already busy crushing the Spear Warband. Let's get into these war dogs. Swing over here and support my mercenaries. Alright, let's see, what do we got over here? Barbarian Cavalry. Looks like we pretty well have this one cleaned up. Go split up my cavalry. Run down the routers. Alright, I think we pretty well have this one all wrapped up with the bow. Well, with or without bow, it's pretty much wrapped up. Going to fast forward. Not a whole lot to see at this point, other than me just cleaning up as many troops as possible. I took a few losses throughout this process, but nothing too egregious. So there we go. I think one of my Sacred Bands ended up in kind of an awkward fight for a few moments and took a decent number of losses, more than I would have normally expected.
Glorious victory!
But definitely a crushing... Wow, are they going to bring this one out now and feed it into the grinder too? Be happy to accept their sacrifice.
My liege, engage the enemy.
They're like, no, remember that battle we walked out here? We were just kidding. We're not interested. Let's re-siege Trier. Maintain the siege. And we need to continue retraining troops at their sister city that we just captured, while trying to get the populace to be a little happier. Let's see if we can do much with the tax rate. Might as well just drop it to a low tax rate. Keep it from rioting. Are there any buildings there that need repaired? Nope. Okay, good news. So, if we retake Trier, let's see how that sets us up for victory. That would put us at 47, meaning we need 3 more settlements. I've got this army free to march to Solana, which would provide us with another settlement. There's very little benefit to me being here in this town because it is so tiny. I really need to get some garrison trained and moved over there. I have a couple of peasants here. I'll probably move them that way. And let's see, how are we doing down here? Segesta looks like it's under control, which means this army can march north. And Patavium, Rimanum. Let's grab some 20 infantry, just in case we need to fight some phalanx units as we head into Germania. I'll kind of wait right here. And then Hannibal and his army gonna be needed, but we've got plague going on in this settlement right now too, so I may wait just a bit before I move Hannibal's army out, though we will do it soon. Petra is now under our control, and Jerusalem is now sieged. It has proper walls, so that will take a little time. Settlement way out here. It looks like Egypt is in control. Oh, okay, yeah, here's the settlement here, Bostra. It's a tiny town. At least this one's a large city here, which I think allowed us to retrain many of our troops, not all of them. We were building a city barracks, which was going to give us a little more retraining. Let's see, Memphis is rioting. To drop their tax rate a little here too and make them a little happier. Retrain these troops. Alright. In fact, let's go check our messages. So Death stalks the land. Let's see the buildings. A lot of our buildings are taking a lot longer to complete them now because as we get up into the higher tier buildings, they take quite a lot more turns to be completed. See, it's Cyrene. I don't know that it matters a whole lot what we build there. Cordoba. We are swimming in gold at this point too. Like we're gaining gold far faster than we can use it. So it won't really matter what we decide to do in terms of, you know, spending up gold, making use of it. Attack these rebels here. Get out of my face, rebels. All right, Juba's gonna push the rebels back. We'll kill them on the next turn. I can't reach them at the moment. Let's see. Let's check our fleets.
Ready to sail.
This fleet does not have anybody embarked. There are no additional commanders at Carthage at the moment. Let's just attack this Greek fleet. Continue to put them out of commission. We can head back to Carthage for retraining with that fleet. It seems like... Okay, here's my other one here. This one has the commanders that I was dropping off into Illyria to help out. So it is nearby here, and let's use it. I wonder if we can double team. I don't want this fleet to be able to attack me, so I'm going to have to go ahead and get aggressive here and attack the Macedonian fleet. This is kind of a risk, actually. Wow. I mean, this fleet I've got at Croton is just absolute baller. There's a huge Egyptian fleet here, too. I shouldn't have moved this other fleet up so willy-nilly. I mean, good news is if we lose a battle, we probably don't lose the fleet. But, I mean, there's a rather large Egyptian fleet here with 10 ships, and not all of them look large, but I can't see a bunch of them either. I don't really know exactly what we're up against. We'll need to win some victories here, but at least we put that Macedonian fleet to a bit of hurt. Some rebels down here, too. I'm going to put them out of commission. Alright. Move back to Ariminum. We're gonna get rid of those rebels. Do we have any African rebels at the moment? Yes. Yes, we do. A couple sets of them, in fact. I've got this commander who's ready to hit the ones outside of Thapsus. These ones outside of Thapsus are either particularly dumb or particularly bold. Take your pick on what you believe them to be. It's just a group of town militia parked right outside of a garrison that is very much their superior. So, like I said, call that one what you will. I'm gonna go with very dumb. And I'm gonna attack Captain Himmelko here. I don't know what he's actually fielding. This could be dangerous if he has decent units, but he does not, so... I wonder if we can auto-resolve this or not. I don't really want to be wasting time on these battles. Okay, there we go. That works. I mean, my troops definitely seemed superior there. Alright, so we got rid of some more rebels. Some rebels out here, too. So I'll have to get this, force marching again. I'll probably leave the commander there and just take the troops. That way I still have a governor in place at Sirte. And I'll take the troops and go hunt down the rebels. Got some plague going on. Need to retrain some troops. These rebels I can't get to, so they're basically the smartest rebels in the game. They spawned in an area where I can't attack them, which is very, very nice for them, you know? Not so nice for me, but works out great for them. I need to get some additional troops here so I can attack those rebels outside my settlement. And then here, we're going to need some replacement troops for my force up there. And let's see, yeah, I think it's about good. We've moved everything around. Our force at Corinth is kind of just locked down, unfortunately, trying to stabilize the settlement. I can't really leave the settlement at this point, unfortunately. But we can retrain anything we want here, which is great news. So, definitely liking that. We're down to 19 units in this army. I might just grab one more Sacred Band, because they can be really useful against, if we run into any heavier phalanx units. From the Macedonians. Wow, there's a huge Egyptian fleet here. 12 ships and then 10 ships. Yeah, there are two large fleets nearby. Large fleets. That end, I may go ahead and start training some Quincarims, or however you say it. I'm going to start training a few of them around here. And then, you know, get them put together and join up with some of these other fleets. Alright. It's in this turn. I'm going to toggle the faster animation speed, as we're likely to see a lot of stuff going on turn ends here. Oh, Egypt's going to come in from behind us. It's okay. We like a good fight. And we should be pretty well prepared for this fight. See a whole lot of dangerous units here. There's a few chariots. I don't have a lot of skirmishers, but I mean, we should be pretty well set. I mean, it's a very odd Egyptian army that's put together here. I feel confident we can take it out. And hopefully by winning some of these battles too, we might get one of our captains promoted to be a general, which will just help us have another commander in this theater.
There are many roads to victory. Today our road lies through the enemy's ranks. Show no mercy as you cut them down!
That guy's got a sick haircut going on. It's like short on top and then massive beard. I mean, I don't personally wear a beard or really want one, but I mean, kudos to that guy. Let's see. Yeah, I know, I'm probably like one of like 3 grown men left in the world who doesn't prefer to wear a beard. Seems like everybody and their dog is into the beard look these days. But I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. And they're annoying and too much work to take care of. So I'll probably get some hate like, Heir, how dare you dump on beards? I know, I'm a monster, people. I'm a monster. Here we go. Start the battle.
The enemy have proved their cowardice.
These are camel, yeah, Bedouin archers. I'm gonna use these Bedouin archers to go tangle a little bit with these. Spread out into loose formation, spread out here, and see if we can goad the Egyptians into a fight here. I'm gonna keep my melee cavalry close to my Iberians because that's probably where we'll see the chariot charges. I will control you, so just go ahead and start firing. Fire, my Bedouins! I'm gonna put together a quick charge on these bowmen that are moving up. Get some nice shots at the desert cavalry. And then I'm gonna try and put some javelins into this chariot archer. I expect the bowmen are going to run away here, so it's a bit risky because I'm pretty overextended. But I'm hoping maybe to get lucky and get a quick rout on those archers. That's good enough. Go ahead and get out. Can we catch these? Oh! Yeah, I was a little bit worried about that. How did this unit get behind me? Oh, they had reinforcements come in behind me. Wow, nice situational awareness, Heir. I'm gonna put these units into a skirmish. That means we need to actually go win this fight up in front of us. Crap, I ended up bunched up over here. I'm gonna get beat piecemeal. Unless I get really lucky over here, because we got surrounded by archers. Let's move up our pointy infantry and try and go win this fight before it gets out of hand. We were very fortunate over here. We're about to be less fortunate. How did we get caught out here again? My Bedouins were in a skirmish formation but got caught by Nile cavalry. That's pretty frustrating. Play here. All right. Oh, we got routed over here by desert cavalry. That's frustrating. Reinforced with some pointy infantry here. My Bedouin archers turned this fight around. That's pretty sweet, actually. We just put that Nile cavalry general to a rout there. Rear attack. Desert Axe, Nile spearmen. We have troops coming up behind us. We got routed over here. Lost a pointy infantry. Let's get in and get some of these archers.
This general is the perfect enemy. He does not stand but runs away. Is there any point in killing him?
I'm gonna be able to get some javelins into these Egyptian chariot archers, which are the cause of some of my routes over here. And I've got reinforcements headed to that flank. Won another fight there. The enemy reinforcements are just camping the hill up above me. It's really quite strange. know if we can catch these Egyptian chariot archers, but I'm going to make the attempt. Let's go get rid of these axemen. Alright. Rerouted the Egyptian chariot archers. What do they got up on this hill? Some Nile spears. There's a Pharaoh guard unit. They have some artillery. That's probably why they're sitting back. I'm going to attack this chariot archers with my horse archer. Let's get our pointy infantry back into line. And same thing with our Iberians. Let's get everybody back in line. I'm gonna see if we can get lucky and catch these chariot archers in a melee. I don't know if we can get so lucky, but I feel kind of confident we can get them. I've got a lot of camels, and I'm hoping that maybe the chariot archers will just get overwhelmed. Yep, there they go. It worked. Get out of phalanx formation, and let's pull back. Try and get on ground that doesn't favor the enemy so much. I lost a mercenary skirmisher up here. Not the end of the world. Let's go charge these desert axes. Get these regrouping units that are behind us. My Bedouin archers have done a pretty spectacular job in this battle so far. Alright, here comes the AI. What do they got? Nubian Cav, Egyptian Cavalry General. Desert Axe. I'm gonna try and put a quick charge on these Desert Axemen. See if we can knock them out of the game early. We put a charge on them and it didn't go so well, so I'm just gonna get out of there. Now their cavalry is making an overture to this flank, one that I do not appreciate. Yeah, they're going for my Iberians. Give those axemen a nice phalanx to charge into. I'm going to support my Iberians with cavalry charge here. Those desert axemen will be put to rout pretty quickly by the pointy infantry there. Okay, Iberian infantry looking good. I really would like that Egyptian cavalry general to continue his trajectory. Oh, really? Sure. I'll bet he did. We got beat by a Nubian cavalry that was overwhelmed and routing. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, I totally believe it. The Egyptian phalanx is going to get outmaneuvered here. Use our Bedouin archers to some advantage here. The Bedouin archers cause fear amongst... Look at this. 86 units left and my round shield cavalry routed. How convenient. Which is going to leave this other unit vulnerable. What is this? Slingers? I don't even know what the AI is doing here with its phalanx units. Why are my Bedouin archers not they're routing. Why are they routing? Why is everything routing? I'm pretty thoroughly confused as to what is actually happening right now. Alright, just avoid their phalanx for a minute, because they're cheating me over here, so let's go. I have no idea what is even happening.
By the gods, the enemy general was a fool.
Well, that was pretty lucky, because I wasn't even in phalanx formation.
Leading his men to a dignified defeat.
I don't know how these Desert Axe and Slingers are holding up in a melee right now. There we go. We got rid of the enemy general. That's a win. My Bedouins are still routing and being chased by the Egyptian chariot archers, which is a bit unfortunate. What is still fighting up here? A slinger unit? I'm going to turn around and take that phalanx melee. We're going to have to support against this Pharaoh's Guard, I should say. These slingers are quite foolish. The Pharaoh's Guard's going to be pretty good, probably better than our pointy infantry. So I'm going to need to try to outmaneuver it. My cavalry is doing very odd charges indeed. I've got the Pharaoh Guard pinched, but it's going to depend on stats here. My pointy infantry are losing the battle rather decisively. So it's really not an ideal scenario for me. This... I don't know what's up with the RNG here, but we are really getting some pretty lame... Look at this, I had to... I don't even know what's happening in this fight anymore. I'm getting routed and stuff that doesn't make any sense. It could be because the general died. I mean, we inflicted way more casualties than them. I mean, we were basically winning that for all intents and purposes, but then we lost it. So, like I said, that's a bit confusing on that fight to me. I don't really know what happened there. It must have been the death of the general. I just like randomly had units start routing. Sure. Okay. I'll be better prepared next time. I was kind of moving forward with a bit of a trashy army anyway, so I won't make that same mistake twice. But the Egyptians paid with a lot of blood right there, and I can't imagine that it's actually a victory for them in the end, because they had tremendous losses, and the Seleucids are all over them. Whether they're fighting me or the Seleucids, it's actually kind of the same at the moment, because they are a protectorate of mine, unless something has changed. Alright, so, going to need a new army here. So let us see, we've got a few pointy infantry already. Grab some more, get 3 more of those, and then I'm going to need some long shield cavalry. I'll start training those, and this army has a few units that we can just retrain. 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean, yeah, we actually, I don't know. I'm gonna auto-merge all the Iberians when we get back here. Gonna deal with them. Oh, really? They happen to have another army out here. Of course they do. That is just that's an insane convenience for them to have another army out here. Only my cavalry can actually reach this army. I suppose we could do just to bail this one out. I say that, it's a whole bunch of freaking chariots. Captain Juba will have a few reinforcements. I mean, we can probably get away with it. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight this. We need to win it so I can get this army free, get them home. It's not the end of the world if we completely lost this army, but I'd prefer not to give Egypt the satisfaction. Alright, so...
The bloody day has come.
Let's go ahead and start deployment. My reinforcements should be coming from behind me. Yep. Start the battle.
Here, but will they be enough for final victory?
Good question.
Units, Double time. Move at the double.
I should have merged these units prior to the battle so I wouldn't have a whole bunch of small ones.
Double time.
Probably a mistake on my part.
Units. Double time.
One skirmisher. I love that.
General. Units.
Alright, let's just get all my cavalry together in one pack.
Units. Standard formation. Units.
I go scout out what they stacked up with here. Chariot archers, chariots, desert axes, Nubian spears, desert cavalry. Alright, well, at least just the way it's set up right now, I would rather have my infantry keep this flank busy and hit the opposite flank with my cavalry, but now they're moving chariots there. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's see what the AI, let's see how they react to this. Ideally here, I just want my infantry to keep their attention while I get in a big cavalry blob and hopefully overwhelm and start to cause a chain rout. Because we're not in a great position to do much else. The chariot archer, yeah, the chariot archers aren't going to want to fight me. So hopefully this cavalry unit, that desert cab, if it'll move all the way out there, it'll give me a target to attack. Got an idea here. I'm gonna make a little noob box. And I'll use my little noob box to hopefully ward off enemy attacks. Be a small one, but hopefully somewhat secure. Move it up. And let's go ahead and charge this left flank of the Egyptians. I can only hope my noob box will save me from a chariot charge. It's going to be pretty risky one way or the other in this battle. Go ahead and push up just a hair closer with my infantry. The AI is just retreating as I push forward. It's pretty typical for them. I drop the phalanx. Egypt is taking the bait, and they'll lose a decent number of units, but I'm kind of getting hit in the flank over here too. We better try our hand here at causing a wrap-up. Egyptian chariot archer might wrap up on the back of me in melee. That's not good. We got the enemy general routing. Let's see if we can make it contagious. Our new box does appear to be working. It's killed a great number of chariots. A great number of chariots. Chariots have come back from routing already. Alright, let's try and keep this contagious with all the routing units. Right, here comes the chariots. Let's give them an attack. We can drop a bunch of them. They should, yep, instantly reroute. Alright, this has got the Egyptians fleeing. And the only thing that's left out here is a chariot archer and their regrouped Nubian cav. I do mean noob. Okay, they left the battlefield. Alright. No need to pursue them. We're just going to take losses as we pursue them. Not really worth it. Which just leaves... Ooh, they put their spears down into a phalanx, but then they quickly routed. Okay, they got a little bit scary there for a minute. I could have just seen my general dying on an RNG there. So we did it. Success. Good news. Good news indeed. So Egypt got the better of me that one time, but not that time. It worked out exactly as planned. I was kind of hoping Egyptian chariots would charge what would appear to be vulnerable infantry and then get chewed up in the process. All the while, my cavalry commenced a chain rout that met with a great deal of success. So yeah, we auto-merged all the units here. So there we go. More condensed, but more units there. More units per, or sorry, more models per unit, I should say. Using all the wrong terminology. We have our movement points back here. My fleet is retrained. The large Egyptian fleet is here. I'm going to move this one up as well, there's two large Egyptian fleets here. I'm going to move this one up and hopefully get it as reinforcements. How come we don't have reinforcements here? Oh well, I mean, we should win regardless, so... We sunk two of their ships and sent them packing. Get back and retrain. And I think I can get my commander safely into the port here. Yep. Alright, good news. I'm going to disperse these mercenaries, and then we can re-recruit them if needed. Alright, so I've got commanders here. I can, in fact, maybe get one of them ready for combat. Who's got the best? All of them have no skills whatsoever. Alright, well, it is what it is. This guy's the youngest, so I'm going to send him out as a commander because he has the most time to gain skills before his death. I will move him out on the next turn. We're going to have to wait for it. Alright, we've moved up there. Got some peasants to disperse here. And we're just going to keep the march of peasants going over here. The rebels have either fled or dispersed, and I can't tell which one. So, that is good news. Got a plenty infantry ready for this army. And Trier is under siege, and I believe we have the siege equipment in place to resolve that. Yeah, let's go ahead and assault here. Get this battle won and retake our settlement. Wow, silver gold upgrades with gold chevrons. These troops are getting about as elite as Germania can make them. Still don't think they'll be any match for Sacred Band. However, they do have the advantage of fighting in a town where the absolutely terrible pathfinding will potentially advantage them more so than were they fighting in a place where I could... fighting in a place where my Sacred Band would do better. Let's start the deployment. What's manning the rams here? Iberians and Libyans. That's fine. Let's go ahead and punch the holes in the wall. Start the battle. Fast forward. Get our Sacred Band ready. I've got these barbarian mercenaries that I can throw around just for extra bodies on the battlefield.
Now comes the test of their courage.
I'm gonna send some of them over here. some over here. I'll try and stack some of them on the flanks. And then I'll try and use my Sacred Band more in the middle.
Your soldiers are through the enemy walls. Show no mercy. Order them to finish the defenders.
Alright. Let's get moving. I'm gonna move into the settlement. And Barbarian Mercenaries. That's a pretty hefty fight to just send my poor Iberians straight into. Over here I don't so much worry about it, but... I'll go grab that ram real quick and make another hole. Alright, let's see, I've got a Sacred Band over here. I want to bring it to bear on this flank. I expect my phalanx is going to be a bit of a mess trying to fight into these cityscapes. Kind of just hoping to overwhelm the axemen over here. I don't know if it'll work, because they have a lot of chevrons. Hoping some good pressure on this flank will work, but you can see these fights are not good for phalanx units. But we now have a flank. I'm gonna push the advantage here. We lost a Libyan spearman over here to the axemen. I'm not terribly surprised. Axemen are okay against armor. We might be able to use our cavalry to go punch a hole through those axemen. We are definitely chopping through these barbarian mercenaries now. Let's go ram the gate. Ding. This fight over here is not good, but could be worse. Let's throw some extra weight. Well, actually, I don't even know if throwing extra weight in that fight's a good idea. I'm just going to move over here. I will go ahead and throw these Iberians through here. Axemen again here. This is actually not ideal for me because those guys can chop through armor. We need to send some extra weight into these fights and see if we can punch through some of the Axemen. This just goes to show you the upgrades and the chevronage here, how hard it is to even just rout this barbarian mercenary. Which is terribly overmatched. But, it's holding out pretty well.
Now comes the test of their courage.
Yeah, these axemen haven't begun to falter at all. In fact, they're holding out rather well. Got the reinforced gates. Taking damage. I thought I had a unit routing here. Good, I don't. I shouldn't. No. Crap. There we go. I think I canceled that. Start moving up over here. Attack that spearman. I've almost got a break in the gates here. We are actually surrounded over here now. This is pretty not good for us. Taking a lot of losses with their sacred bands.
Your soldiers have broken through the gate. Now
This is a good development. I have to drop the ram here and try and get in here and save my sacred band. The Germans are putting up a pretty respectable fight at the moment. And from units that heavily chevroned, I'm not entirely surprised. Yeah, I mean, these axemen do good damage against armor, and I can't stay in a steady phalanx formation. Drop the stupid ram and get in here. Come on.
cowardly enemy have lost the walls. Send your troops and take the rest of the
Start
settlement.
moving my troops into formation. I've got to give some reinforcements here as quickly as possible. I really need these axemen to break, and they are just not. They're wavering, but they will not break. This has been a costly, costly battle. Look, how are we getting wrapped up here? That spear warband just straight up owned my sacred band. Somehow. Like, I don't really know how, but it did. Like, even with all their upgrades, they shouldn't have been a match. And we got owned here, too. The axemen I understand, because I was in an odd formation, and they pierce armor, which makes them a pretty good candidate for cutting down a sacred band where it's not in a phalanx formation. So again, that fight I kind of understand. This one over here I don't at all. Like, this just must have been some screwy circumstance of flanking and other weird stuff that was going on. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This axeman's lasting a long time in this fight too. It's not what I need. I've got to hurry and get reinforcements through here. This skirmisher warband, you would hope, yeah, it breaks, which means I can rear charge these axemen, hopefully just in time. Exhausted. They're absolutely exhausted, wavering. There they go. Now I can turn around and face the spear warband. And then I can get this cavalry in here to help rear charge the spear warband. I mean, because, like I said, this spear warband, despite its upgrades, should get utterly owned by my sacred band. It's actually doing pretty well. Maybe I'm completely off. Like, what are the stats here? 19 attack? Yeah, never mind. They're pretty good. 19 attack, folks. I will lose this fight if I don't get some support in here. We're gonna lose this barbarian cavalry. I'm just trying to do anything I can to get into this fight and try and break it up. I've got the spear warband surrounded now. They are dropping units really quickly. It says that they feel defeat is almost certain, and they are now shaken. Okay, they have a couple of war dog units here. I need to wait for reinforcements. Holy cow, this spear warband is like the 300 Spartans. Look at what they're doing to me. Wavering. Wait, you think? I hope they're wavering. What's going to take to get rid of these guys? Wow, I have heavily underestimated my enemy. Holy smokes. Alright, I got some mercenaries here. Let's move them up. This sacred band. Wow, like those were some insane upgrades. Go ahead and start moving up everybody. Get them positioned at the town center. I do still have some more trash infantry to kind of lead the assault. And then hopefully help me free up some cavalry to do some surrounding moves and try and mop up the AI up here without this turning into a debacle. I'm going to let some of my troops rest up. I'm going to fast forward here. These units are going to be utterly exhausted. Winded, exhausted. These ones are fresh. And these units are now winded and tired, so they are recovering. I'd like to recover at least some stamina here so that we can have some morale while fighting. Hoping that maybe my general being nearby might help cheer these guys up a little. Sacred Band has good stamina, so they are recovered. These barbarian mercenaries are not going to be so fortunate to recover that quickly. My cavalry is recovered. That's all recovered. These guys, yeah, just now hit very tired after sitting around for like 5 straight minutes. Here, this one dropped to tired. They have terrible stamina. Alright, let's play here. And let's see. Let's get the fight started. Use the war cry ability here. And charge in. Alright, their barbarian cavalry unit charged me. I'm gonna charge this warhound unit. Alright, we want to kill as many of these cavalry as we can while they were routing and heading into the town square routed. Comes the attack. Let's move up our general. Let's recharge these warhounds. And the hounds are loose. That's probably a very bad thing for me because hound units are kind of broken in the sense that you can't attack the actual hounds, and they can sometimes cause a lot of damage both to morale and just like killing units. I think we've got this one though. I'm not risking my general, so that can't hurt my morale. The dogs are slowly getting defeated. And the other units are being defeated, so there we go. We got ourselves a victory. Woo! It was hard fought, too. Kudos to the Germanians there, man. That was quite the Spartan-esque force that they had defending Trier. I'm impressed. It's the first battle that I've played against the Germanians where I think I actually have some respect for them. I'm gonna enslave their populace again, because clearly these people don't take well to being conquered. So they are very much like Germania of real life in that case. I'm training reinforcements to come from Alesia to go help and replenish these troops, but we are now once again under our control. Let's see what kind of buildings. We can't build anything right now. Guess we've built about all we can build, but we do have it reconquered, which means that I believe we are, yeah, so 47 regions controlled. That may change on the turn end, I don't remember whether it will or not. Salona, there's a large defense force outside of Salona, and could be a large one in the settlement too. I don't know what the case is. Alright. Let's head home and retrain this fleet. Yeah, this fleet is busy retraining, hopefully. Is not, so let's make it busy retraining. I'm gonna get new heavy ships completed on the next turn. Path blocked, agent found. End our turn here. Got troops moving back in from defeating rebels. And let's see whether Macedon attacks me outside of Salona. It would be fun if they did, but I don't know if they will. Boy, the Seleucids are busy. They got so many troops moving around. Alright, the turn has ended. Death stalks the land at Tingi. I already knew that. Cordoba, just stop it. Like, stop thinking about it, Cordoba. Right? Do you not remember? You don't remember what happened? Thought it had become clear. Like what happens to an angry Cordoba. Alright, here we go. Here we go. This isn't much for this army, but I mean, this army is gonna just have to go and start fighting. Looks like Germania took over this settlement that had turned into a rebel settlement. Start retraining these troops. The plague will be ended at some point. Macedonians did not attack me. My infantry in this army is not crazy strong. They have 2 full stacks here. Ooh. Getting spicy. Wow, they've got a lot of troops. Now, fortunately for me, unfortunately for them, how did some of my troops get hurt here? I'm gonna leave it here. We're gonna start this one on the next one. I'm probably gonna try and fight this. You might be thinking, Heir, this is crazy, and it may be. It may be, but reinforcement-wise, remember, this isn't like Warhammer 2 where they can have like 2 full armies on the screen at the same time. I think they can only have like an additional 5 or 6 units, something like that, on the screen, which means that I might be able to get a big victory started early and then try and wrap them up piecemeal. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least. I have a lot of slingers. Slingers are very dangerous to phalanx units. Despite my pointy infantry not being a fantastic matchup against all of these units, we can probably get the job done. Anyway, I'm going to save it here, and we'll see how we do. One way or the other, we'll probably take enough losses here that we'll have to fall back and try and replenish. About half makes me wonder if I should bring a ship over to take them back to Italy for quicker replenishment rather than marching back, because Segestica is a mess and the old Gaul settlements aren't equipped for retraining pointy infantry. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. Heir of Carthage signing out for now. I will see you all soon.